Is exceptionally early in the morning here on the East Coast of the good old USA. This is probably a much better time for all of you folks watching over in Europe and Australia, so hello to you. My name is GrimShins, and I am going to be running this very, very strange little game about a dolphin. So, quick bit of background. In the first Ecco the Dolphin game, you, lost your pod in a storm, you went to the Arctic to talk to a blue whale who told you to talk to a giant strand of DNA who told you to go back in time 65 million years and fight some dinosaurs and shit, and then you had aliens. You fought aliens, you won, and yeah, Ecco 2 picks up right after that and is somehow even weirder. Hope y'all enjoy it. So, just real quick, did we meet the incentive for any percent hard, or am I doing any percent?
It's your lucky day, we're doing any percent.
Okay. That's a load off my shoulders. So yeah, I'll try to explain things as they happen. It's a pretty quick run, but yeah, let's get going in 3, 2, 1... go. So we start off on a home bay here. Not a whole lot to it. We just swim down this current, talk to this dolphin who doesn't want to let us by until we do that. Swim into these rings, and this will bring us to the first 3D stage. We gotta swim through these rings to travel great distances quickly. Practically speaking, if we miss one of them, we lose 3 seconds. No big deal, as long as we don't miss more than the indicator in the upper left-hand corner of the screen would indicate. I'm basically mashing B and C for maximum speed the entire time, and I'm going to be mashing C for essentially the entirety of the run, because that's my swim fast button. And the next level that I'm going to play casually has kind of an annoying puzzle to it that takes a long time, but, well, you'll see what's gonna happen. Fun fact, did you know that dolphins can swim through rocks? Now, during all of this, thanks to a very recently discovered glitch, I am making a point to not U-turn at any point during these first couple of levels or exit the water. And that actually will set some memory values to where they need to be in order to skip a cutscene that's coming up relatively soon. So as long as I satisfy those conditions, it should happen. This is brand new tech, we just figured it out on, like, Monday or something like that. And if I get it, it will be the first time it's ever been demonstrated in a marathon, which is pretty cool. For those who don't know, these crystals are called glyphs, and there are a lot of them throughout the game. Some of them act as keys, others act as doors. I'm using this turtle to swim down through the current here. We open up this glyph. And here's where things start to get weird. This is Trelia. She is a descendant of ours from the distant future in which dolphins are long and psychic. And she says, "Hey kid, touch me and I'll take you to the future." And I say, "Okay." So let's see if we did it correctly. Hell yeah, breaking the game to save 8 seconds. So we're in the future now. We've got some flying psychic dolphins that we'll hopefully use here to do another trick. And we skipped the entire level. And on this next stage, I'm going to do a really stupid routing change that Requires a frame-perfect, sub-pixel-perfect trick, and even if I do it correctly, it only saves 3 seconds. So we're actually losing time now, but it looks hella cool. Come on. There we go. So in the future, Earth's oceans are kind of connected by these water tubes, which function as a circulatory system, I guess. The oceans are sentient, by the way, because this is Ecco, and why wouldn't it be? Nothing too exciting here, it's an auto-scroller. There are a couple auto-scrollers throughout the game, but mercifully, nowhere near as much auto-scroller as in the first Ecco the Dolphin. Gotta sing to these whirlpools in order to close them so I don't fall to my death. And on the next level here, I want to be very sure not to fall, because if I fall, I need to replay the last 2 stages, and that sucks. Here I'm avoiding a giant jellyfish called the Medusa. And since I did the proper routing, you probably didn't even see it. We're on Skylands now. You can see a couple of flying dolphins, and I sing to these bubbles to hurl myself through the air. I'm doing some very precise D-pad movement to hit the bubbles without falling into the pools. Save some time. Real tricky jump there. And beautiful. Fin to Feather introduces a pretty important gameplay mechanic. You can turn into a bird sometimes. And the reason that's important, aside from letting us fly over that rock, will become more apparent in the next stage. Yeah, any dolphin-related emotes you got in chat, just spam the living hell out of that. So the nice thing about these 3D stages is you can pretty much predict when the rings are going to pop up based off of how many charges you do. Each ring is spaced exactly 4 charges apart. So that removes basically any timing issues. The best part about transforming into a bird is you can do a very cool trick called bird clip, which exploits some differences in Ecco's hitbox between bird form and dolphin form. So I skipped having to go all the way to the left side of the level there just by clipping through a wall. I need to repair this broken glyph in order to get the key song to progress in this level. I'll also be doing another trick that I discovered entirely by accident a little while ago. Normally we're supposed to wait for a worm to eat this wall, but we can actually swim through it just by touching our nose against the leftmost rock and charging a couple times. We talked to our friend, Mr. DNA, who's called the Asterite, and it explains to us that in the present time, our present, the past, this game's really confusing, I'm so tired. The alien queen from the first game discovered that the DNA gave you the power to defeat her, so she showed up and killed the DNA strand and scattered its globes about, and we're gonna have to repair it. But not yet. You want to talk about save the children? We gotta save some children right here. this orca has lost her kids, and we're gonna go find them, because we're Ecco the goddamn dolphin, hero of the friggin' ocean, so... This level is a bit of a fetch quest. We fetch some orcas. Really convenient. That school of pufferfish forms an arrow that points to the exact Y coordinate you need to be on to pick up this second orca. That actually happens quite a lot in the games. The developers were really good about giving you sort of indicators to line yourself up with. So Mama's like, oh my god, Ecco, you're the best, thanks for saving my kids. And we gotta follow this one in somewhat of an auto-scroller. The reason that I have to follow this orca and can't just swim to the exit is the exit doesn't actually spawn until this orca hits a certain position in the map. Once it gets to that position, though, we're gonna leave him behind. Just abandon this child again. So now the exit has spawned. We can swim to the end of the level. Ooh, got the fast exit too. It is, you have exactly one scan line of alignment to do that quickly. So this is actually going real smoothly. Blackfin, this is Blackfin. He's an asshole. He likes to screw up otherwise good runs by, acting like an idiot and failing some jumps. Sometimes he can even get stuck inside a rock and, despawn, which is pretty fantastic. Let's see if he's nice today. He remembered how to dolphin today. Casually, if you screw up following him, he eventually, gets annoyed with you and starts roasting you, just makes fun of you and gives you the song you need to break these rocks, just out of pity. Here I'm doing a trick called charge boosting to, speed up my movement. I'm basically doing a slide from C to A on the Genesis controller, and without getting too technical into why it happens, it makes me go fast. That alien that I just killed is pretty awful. Funny thing about this game, when you're overlapping an enemy, you don't actually have iframes, and damage is applied per frame. So in about 15 to 20 frames, so, between a quarter and a third of a second, if you are overlapping one of those enemies, you die. And that applies to even more stuff in hard mode, so fortunately we're not having to deal with that. This ring of stars eats these rocks. Not much to say there. And that orca just explains to us that when the alien queen killed the asteroid, it left behind a couple of orbs that were taken by some alien drones, so that will be plot later. I'm doing charge boosting here to speed my way through the corridor. And I'm normally supposed to turn into a jellyfish on this level, but it's way faster just to damage boost through these jellyfish. You have enough health, you're not in any danger of dying. Just jump over here, hit the glyph. And, thanks for the good luck, everyone. This is what I think is the worst 3D stage in the game. When you are charging, you automatically lock onto enemies, and since there are so many jellyfish here, you can kinda get pulled away from the proper trajectory to hit the rings. And missed a ring, that's fine. I normally budget missing a ring on this level because the jellyfish are pretty terrible. And even then, missing a ring's only 3 seconds, it's not huge. On this level, we've got to feed a hungry dolphin. See, this game is hitting upon all of the beats that we're trying to raise money for here, you know, saving the children and feeding the hungry. Ecco is just a great humanitarian. So after we feed that dolphin, we get the glyph. Swim down here through these remarkably anachronistic underwater creatures. Sometimes this rock doesn't spawn, and it's annoying, wastes some time. And now on to the first boss fight. Can't actually fight the boss until we're at the bottom of the level, but we can speed up, the shells fall, by pushing it. Unfortunately, we constantly take damage as we push it. I really don't want to touch the red eel for the aforementioned you take damage per frame without iframes. So if that thing so much as touches me, I basically die. This is a much trickier fight on hard mode because those yellow eels don't die instantly. They're rather difficult to kill. And there's a chance that we may get an instant kill on the boss. We've got no idea how it happens, but okay, it didn't happen. Fortunately, not a difficult boss, you just sonar it until it dies. And Asterite's not looking so great right now. You're probably thinking, man, it's gonna be a lot of globes that we need to collect. And, yeah, that would be right, if this weren't a speedrun. But no way around it. On this level, we gotta collect 2 pairs. Do charge boosting where I can to increase my speed. Cool thing about Ecco is at maximum speeds, he moves about 30% faster than supersonic, but he can only turn every 8 frames. So movement is pretty tricky. If you're seeing me run into walls, some of that is strategic to line myself up properly for certain tricks, but most of the time it's just because this game is hard. So what I'm doing here is using a glyph to push myself into a wall and skip having to play through the entire level. Otherwise there are like 10 pairs of globes that I would need to collect. And I'm gonna do something similar on this level. There is a chance that I can soft lock the game doing this, so if my timing is bad. That might have done it. Fortunately, it didn't. That ought to work. Excellent, we did not soft lock the game. I don't need to get roasted by the other Ecco speedrunners. No way to skip this stage, unfortunately, though, but there are only 4 pairs, and they're all pretty easy to get. So as you can see, we've totally been rebuilding Asterite. We delivered all of those globes. And we're just wildly efficient at this. I actually did something really cool there called a super jump. If I press charge on the same frame I leave the water, my X momentum gets increased by something like 400%, and I do a really, really long jump. Now, I intentionally run into walls after I pick up the globes, because if I don't, there is a small chance that I will spawn in Asterite's cave without the globes, and I'll have to go back and grab the pair again. I actually have lost world record pace to that before, so I make a point of just doing slight measures to prevent that from happening. Now we can exit the level. In the next level, I'm supposed to turn into a shark to get through the level, but that's slow. We're gonna turn into the bird instead. And hopefully I lined myself up. Okay, this is probably the hardest trick in the run. Got a second attempt though, that's fantastic. We're about to enter the best 3D stage in the game, and it's the best because every time I charge into a shark, it resets the cooldown timer on my shark, so I can go much faster than any other 3D stage in the game. And it's a speed run, we like to go fast. Although, for some reason... Huh, that was bizarre. My charge lock kinda got broken, so I missed a ring, but that's fine. Not a big deal. I'm gonna have to look into why that happens, though. I'm genuinely confused. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that I got less than 3 hours of sleep. This is Lunar Bay. It's kind of the alien hive on Earth. We want to make sure that we don't get grabbed by these little gray aliens, because they'll take us to a little bonus level where we get turned into an alien, which is kind of cool casually, but in a speedrun it sucks because it wastes time. Gonna do another wall clip here. Just wiggle Echo's hitbox through, and these two aliens are taking us to the future, where the Asterite's last pair of globes is being held. Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't be a marathon if I were well rested. Time travel is a little bit destructive to alien morphology, apparently. And the game is now a platformer, because in the future, there's not a lot of water. You're probably thinking, oh, we already went to the future. Well, this is the bad future. This is like some Sonic CD shit. We got a good future and we got a bad future. We're in the bad future right now, trying to make sure that we erase this future. Break through this wall, sing to that glyph, because there's a good chance that we'll die in this section. Because we are about to go over some bottomless pits, which was something that didn't exist in Ecco 1. Don't get crushed by that ball. And I'm gonna try to skip like half the level with a very precise, non-developer intended jump. Didn't quite make it. Alright, brilliant. Skips a very dangerous back and forth across a bottomless pit where casually you're almost guaranteed to die. There's one more trick in the level that I'm gonna try to do. Just jump over here, hit the glyph. Ah, damn. Missed it. You can jump back over that gap It saves a couple of seconds. You've probably noticed that the gravity is behaving oddly. That's one of the mechanics in the future. Sometimes gravity inverts. In this level, there are 4 glyphs that we're supposed to hit to remove walls, but because this is a speedrun, we're only going to hit 3, then we're going to do something the developers didn't intend to skip the last barrier. Alright, first try. Normally you're not supposed to be able to make that jump because the rocks knock you out, but if you spam jump and sonar, you can just make it through. And this level has some really weird gravity, but I'm gonna skip most of it by going through there. Do some charge boosting, hit the glyph, get the key song, jump out. And boss fight 2 coming up. In this level, we're going to hit this sack that contains 2 balls until it turns bright red. And now it's upset with us. And after 6 hits, we can smash it. And take the balls. Asterite's last pair. We're gonna go bring it back to him. There's another opportunity to soft lock the game coming up. Hopefully we don't do it. We did not soft lock the game. So now we've got our dolphin superpowers back. We don't need to surface for air anymore, although to be honest, in the speedrun you don't do a lot of that to begin with. The Asterite sang a powerful song to summon our brother singers to fight the aliens. We're gonna infiltrate the alien hive. This is the easiest trick to do in the game, by the way. You just swim straight into that wall and you get sucked into the auto-scroller. It skips about half of the stage. I'm intentionally keeping this blue alien alive because as long as its head isn't destroyed, none of the other aliens here will spawn, and that just makes it a lot easier to route. Mercifully, this is a very short auto-scroller section, unlike the machine in the first Ecco game, which was 6 minutes long and moved at a much slower rate and was much more confusing. Ecco indeed does not afraid of anything. I mean, come on, would you afraid of anything if you could make alien heads pop by singing to them? I don't think so. Just sing a whole bunch to these baked bean looking worms, make them blow up. And now, we fight the alien queen. I'm gonna be doing a setup for a quick kill here. I let her suck me slightly into her maw. Oh shit! Wow, that's what happens when no sleep So it was a good run up until then, but now you get to see the alien. That's fine. I hit a diagonal a little earlier than I should have. So, like I said, quick kill. Let myself get sucked in slightly. Hit her a couple times. Now I hit diagonal. And there we go. One cycle kill. First try! This is not time, by the way. This game pulls a Donkey Kong Country on you and rolls some credits before the game is done. Only unlike Donkey Kong Country, it rolls the real credits. So we did it! The evil alien queen is defeated and the ocean's at peace. We're swimming around with all our dolphin buddies. No way to skip this, unfortunately. I guess now's as good a time as any to explain a little bit of background of what inspired Ecco the Dolphin. A lot of this game was inspired by the research of John C. Lilly, who was a scientist who did some work for NASA in the 1960s. He specifically was trying to communicate with dolphins. He believed dolphins were intelligent enough that we might be able to communicate with them. So his brilliant idea, because it was the 60s, was to dose dolphins with LSD, and that was gonna make them talk to us. Yeah, this was with NASA. And what is more NASA than giving cetaceans psychedelics? There's also more to that story that I won't get into on stream. But later in his life, Lilly kinda went a little bit crazy and thought that aliens were talking to him through the Earth Communication Command Office, or something like that, the ECCO, and that's what gave the name to Ecco. So the more you know. This is arguably the hardest 3D stage in the game. It's not as annoying as the jellyfish stage from a speedrun perspective, but casually, there are a lot of things that can kill you here. You got sharks, you got jellyfish, you got nautiluses, you got these eagles in the air, but I don't think they actually hurt you at all. And try very hard not to die, because if I die, I need to do it all over again, including the previous stage. This is a bit of an info dump. Asterite tells you that the reason there was a good future and a bad future was because you went back in time in the first game, and to make sure that doesn't happen again, go to Atlantis and destroy the time machine. We're in Atlantis now. Very quick block puzzle, same solution every time. Use this block to break some other blocks. Do it again. And we're over here, solving dolphin hunger again. But funny thing is, if we get the dolphin off screen before he manages to eat the fish doesn't get eaten, and we can eat it. Try not to spawn a lag monster. try not to get crushed. I'm supposed to turn into a school of fish in this level, but that's slow, so we're just gonna charge around the metasphere, swim to the end. Since we're not a school of fish, we don't need to worry about getting eaten by our dolphin brethren. And we're on the last level here. In their infinite wisdom, the developers decided that the game needed a stealth mission. In order to go fast, sometimes I'll aggro these vortex larvae to basically get them to go fast. The fastest movement they have is when they are aggroed, you can sonar them. Gonna try to do a trick here to get a fast block spawn. And we did. We skipped having to push it.
Would you have a second for a quick message?
Yeah, absolutely. Time's
Alright,
coming up in
we
a
would-
second, but
Oh, so I'll wait after that.
yeah. Okay. Time will be when I hit the ring and the screen goes black. Time. Alright. 34:45, looks like. Not a bad time at all. That's actually the fastest this game's ever been done in a marathon. So, not too bad. And you can go ahead with the message.
Yeah, we'd just like to remind you that we're NASA 2020, raising money for Save the Children. We've raised $2,278 so far. We're only missing $22 to reach 2,300. Sorry for that. Raise towards Save the Children and get those donations in. Thank you very much. And thank you so much for the run.
Excellent. Yeah, just real quick, this secret password here was supposed to be used in a sequel to this game that was gonna appear on, I believe, the 32X, but got cancelled because it was the 32X. This little ending here just explains that the Vortex Queen actually escaped from her hive in the form of a larva. She used the time machine to go back into Earth's past, where she found creatures she couldn't rule over, and she had to instead integrate with Earth's life cycles, and her descendants became arthropods. So the game introduces another time paradox there, but Vortex Queen's descendants, insects and crustaceans and all that. And Ecco is really terrible at following directions because the asteroid told him to destroy the time machine, but instead he uses it to disappear into the tides of time. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Thanks for the GGs. Thanks for everyone who watched, who donated. Really great cause. And yeah, just shoutouts to Planet Chaos and The Lair and Cydia Forever and Caverns of Hope. Love y'all.
Yeah, I think you might want to refresh it or something. Or did it just turn on? Something like turn it off and on.
Okay, it's coming through Discord now.
Alright, hello. We've just seen Ecco, The Tides of Time, which was well underestimated just because it turned out the runner had it a little easier with just any percent and not any percent hard. Next up we have Blazing Chrome, arcade mode normal from Kirtar. And we actually have a bit word for that one, for this one. And that is character selection. Right now, the bidware is empty, so if you want to choose either of the characters, you just need to donate any amount of money for either of them. So, if you'd like to, do it right now as the run is about to start. So you don't have much time. Right. After that, we have Cuphead, All Bosses Expert Legacy, also from Kirtar. And then Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2 and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt from Kajik. The Witcher 3 also has a very interesting a very interesting bidword that's usually very popular among people during marathons, which is choosing the ending for the game. If you've played The Witcher 3, you probably know you can either save Ciri or you can well, not save her, I guess. I don't know if sacrifice is the right word. I haven't played The Witcher 3 yet, but you know, all of you who have played, what would be the right word? Like, not sacrifice, but you can save time that way in a speedrun. But I don't know what would be the right way to say it. Purge Ciri, exactly. There we go. So you can choose either of the options. You can either make Kajik very mad because he has to save Ciri and lose time, or happy because he saves some time. So that's coming up in a couple hours. The Witcher 3 is going to be here in about an hour and 40 minutes, about 2 hours, I'd say. So you still have some more time for that. What you don't have time for is Blazing Chrome, as I mentioned, because that's coming up really soon. Right. We just got a $10 donation from Anonymous with no comment. Thank you very much, and please remember that even the smallest of donations help save the children and help in full, and are going straight to save the children. We're going to see a video from them now, and we'll see you in a second.
بلبنان عايشين في خيمتنا صايرة جملون عايشين فيها أنا وأمي وأخواتي وأبوي. تذكر أحلامي الحلوة، تذكر بيتنا كيف كان، بس هلأ انهدم. نرجع على بيتنا ونعيش بسلام بس. لما جينا رحلنا لهون صار حالتنا ضيقة كتير. قمت أنا رحت أشتغل بالاستيراد. صار الزعران بعيطولي بيقولوا لي أنا بعطيك مصاري وتعي معي. شغل في زعران بيلطشونا، بالمدرسة ما في حدا بيلطشنا، في استاذية واستاذيات. تعلمت إنه نحن بهذا العمر لازم هلا بنكون على المدرسة منه نصير كبار. عطتنا مبلغ ساعدنا الأطفال.
Welcome back to NASA 2020, supporting Save the Children. Each and every one of your donations goes straight to them and helps in full. And let's hear a bit more about the charity where you help. And that is Save the Children, obviously. When the worst happens, children are always among the most vulnerable and often suffer most. Save the Children responds to natural disasters, conflicts, and other humanitarian emergencies across the globe, including responding to the COVID-19 pandemic with global health, education, and protection programs that address the unique needs of children in crisis. Save the Children has launched a global appeal to help support children and families affected by the coronavirus. They are supporting health workers with personal protective equipment, distributing hygiene supplies and health information on how to stay safe and prevent the spread of infection. They are also using their decades of experience with kids in crisis to give parents guidance and tools to reassure and support their children. And with that, we are just $12 short out of $2,300 raised in the previous weekend and the first day of NASA 2020 of this weekend. We will be live up until the end of this weekend, up until Sunday's evening. If you'd like to see our entire schedule, then the links are in the chat. If you'd like to see any of the previous runs that you didn't catch, the VODs are either on our Twitch channel or should be either are there already or should be there soon, or on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/NASAmarathon.
If I try harder, it might happen. Sudden clarity instead of free me, I'll zap him. If I press on every day, then maybe I will find a way. And if you think you know, then say how to make this thing go away. I need to find some clarity, but everywhere I look, I see chaos, confusion, and deceit. Who is there who can help me? Need to find my confidence, my faith in God never makes sense because everywhere I know, I'm better than dead. But now why not to find peace? To put my foot down and I'll say that I will stop being afraid of my mistake. I'm on a ship. Escape route, hiding from the great unknown, cause I am an actor in life's a show. Hate you, but when the scene's unscripted, all you're good, can you please restrict it straight through? All I want is the end, like being average is the trend. Create truth, easy to fail the test when you are so afraid of success.
I would just like to address an additional big thank you to all our viewers supporting the marathon in any way, either by watching, mentioning us on social media, or donating towards the cause. Please remember that. That also all of the money gathered by subs and bits, but by subs and cheering rather, is also going towards Save the Children. It will be added to the total at the end of the marathon. So things like giving subs and cheering is also supporting Save the Children. I'm being told we're ready, so I'm gonna hand it off to Private. Right. Also, looks like my hosting shift is over with that intermission, so I'm gonna hand you guys over to Mash. It was a pleasure having you again, even with some technical issues on my side. I hope I did well. Thank you very much for your attention.
I hope you're all having a wonderful time during NASA 2020 supporting Save the Children. I'm your host, Mash, taking over after Poker Factory's awesome job.